Hi, I wanted to give you a little bit of a walkthrough and demo of how our AQ simulation studio works. And this training is really bringing a lot of the kind of elite team training that's used to the corporate environment. Most leadership development is still too theoretical, really, and leadership happens in uncertainty when the market shifts, when shareholders push back, when information's incomplete, and you have to decide anyway. You've got to do things. So we built this safe place to practice adaptability before the real money and real consequences hit. So it's built to work in person, virtual, or hybrid. And we can do high-tech versions and low-tech versions depending on the room. And most often it's a facilitated workshop. So teams can practice the decisions together under pressure and in that safe environment. So the platform, it has two parts, and on my screen here I'm logged in as an admin facilitator, so I can show you what that looks like, and also as a player what it looks like as a player. So the first thing happens with a facilitator is they can set up different simulations. And inside a simulation, when you set it up, you have things like a world context, a card deck pack, which includes all of the scenarios that the teams are going to be working on. So let me just show you this in real terms, a little bit about the card packs. So we have master packs related to specific use cases and perhaps teams. So whether it's in procurement and supply chain, it's sales, it's leadership development. And these packs contain real scenarios that feel so on point for teams to work on. The next part we have is the world context. So when you enter a simulation, what is the new world we're entering into for the duration of that sim? So we can set those up as facilitators and trainers. We also then have something called micro setbacks. So these are the curveballs that come in mid scenario, and it really helps teams think about adaptability and overcoming things that happen. So let's get back and see what's inside one of the simulations from a facilitator's viewpoint. If I look at this one that we ran of our in-person summit, I get to see as a facilitator things like how many teams are set up. So think of those like tables, and then how many participants. Each simulation has a unique code that I'll show you in a moment as a player view, how you get in and what they see. And the world context is set up, so that can be done as part of a keynote, part of a presentation, can be handouts, can be on screen. And then I can see all of the different tables. I can add new teams and new tables. And if I was displaying on a projector, another version that you can run this in, I can show each table and come to this area, and it will show me which scenario that table's working on. So in this example, mental health considerations in coaching, and what the setback is. So this sim has already functioned, already working. So I want to show you what then happens. I can then trigger at some point the AI teammate. So generally what we recommend is we start off, the team begins on that scenario, works their solutions, has discussions. They then get given a micro setback, perhaps 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, something like that. They then work on it again. Then at some point, I will trigger and generate AI teammate advice. And so what that's doing is it's using our knowledge vault of adaptability intelligence. It's looking at the world context, the scenario that is being played on this table, the setback, and then it gives some helpful advice for them to think about. So 3 questions to consider, suggested approaches, and key advice that's joining all of those different knowledge graphs together. They'll then have the opportunity to say, yep, we smashed that, we already had that in our minds, or oh, that's different, that's unique, let's think about that before they present. When they present, one of the challenges often is lots of content, lots of post-its, lots of conversation, and it gets lost. And it's the job of somebody in the room or a facilitator to compile that information so that value isn't lost. We've built in a solution recorder. So when there's a share back opportunity, they can start that recording, and it will create a transcript of the recording of the presentation to the room. They can also add written notes as they're discussing and as they go. And they can also snap images if they've got old school post-it notes and things. And the AI analysis will then look at any of those images, bring it in for context of the scenario, what's in the post-it, and give some information. All of this is super useful post the actual simulation in terms of generating reports, insights, and what's happening afterwards. So the view from my perspective as a facilitator, I can display up different tables, I can monitor progress, I can see where people are at, instigate that teammate, and see different solutions that people are recording as they go. So it's a super valuable, super easy to use to set up new simulations, which card deck, i.e. the scenarios, which setbacks pack that we're using, and I can run these with as many teams as I like and as many participants as I like, and I can add new participants to the teams as we go. So that's looking at it from the view of a facilitator, just top level. There's loads of other features on the platform, but I wanted to give you that. Now, as a player, they come in and they can enter the simulation. So they're given the unique code, and once they enter, they have to log in. Nearly have to log in terms of they can use single sign-on with Google, Microsoft, Facebook, or set up an account with an email. When they log in with that sim code, that player is faced with select your table. So am I on table 1, table 2, table 3? So I can go and join a given table as a player. When I join that table, I am then presented with the scenario, which has a response required, the task for the leaders, which adaptability subdimensions this particular scenario relates to. And if it's been triggered, I see the setback. If I first log in, I won't see it. At the point at which the facilitator adds it, they'll see the setback. Then the teammate, it'll be blank, the AI teammate, until the facilitator triggers it. I'll then see it as an individual player, as a group. What we do recommend in large groups is perhaps per table just having one table champion who logs in, who sees the dashboard, does everything. But of course, if you're virtual, not in person, everyone can collaborate, yes, through Zoom and platforms like that, but equally then have their individual login so that they can add their solutions as they go. So different notes are being added, whether I'm doing a recording, a photograph, or old school typing. What I can also do as a player, if I just move this my face away, I can go back to the tables, and let's say the facilitator says, hey, we're doing a change around. Peter, you'll move into table 3. Sarah, you'll move into table 4. I can now go and join another table because teams change, right? And that can be another part of the adaptability training that you work through. So really easy, really simple for a player. You can also add in additional report participants. So put in an email of somebody in your team who's not logged in, who you want to give a copy of the post simulation report as well. These are designed to run regularly, so once every month, part of your leadership training, sales training, whatever it might be. So there's new games, join a new one, enter the new sim code, and away you go. In terms of from a facilitator, the card packs of what I can create new custom card packs. We've got some great tools to be able to do that, but I wanted to keep this demo under 10 minutes. So if you are interested and you really think that this could be a valuable way that you can, take leadership development, take the team training into a real immersive and measurable kind of outcome, then let's run a sim together. All right, reach out. Look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.